Marc Marquez has called for calm and compassion among his fans after the dramatic crash with Marco Bezzecchi in the Indonesian Grand Prix that left him with a fractured shoulder and torn ligaments. Despite the pain and frustration, the newly crowned seven-time MotoGP world champion showed pure sportsmanship, asking his millions of supporters to stay respectful and not target Bezzecchi online. The incident unfolded on the opening lap at Turn 7, when Bezzecchi, who had started from pole position after a stunning sprint victory, lost control while trying to recover from a poor start. His Aprilia collided with the rear of Marquez's Ducati GP25, sending both riders flying into the gravel trap at high speed.
Welcome to GP Time. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates.
Marquez hit the ground hard, tumbling through the gravel before clutching his right shoulder in visible pain. Bezzecchi quickly got to his feet and ran over to check on the Spanish star, a moment that showed genuine concern in the middle of chaos. Medical staff immediately attended to Marquez, who was later flown to Madrid for further evaluation. Ducati soon confirmed a fracture at the base of the coracoid process and ligament damage to his right shoulder, thankfully not requiring surgery. Instead, the team has opted for conservative treatment and strict rest. But while Marquez was still being examined, social media erupted. Waves of fans expressed support, yet some directed anger and blame toward Bezzecchi. Seeing this, Marquez decided to step in personally with a heartfelt message across his social platforms. He wrote, "Not the best way to celebrate a championship. But that's racing. Today we fly to Madrid and the doctors will evaluate everything. Please don't hold any grudge against Marco. Nobody does these things on purpose. Thank you for all your support." His words resonated deeply. Fellow riders, journalists, and fans praised the maturity and class of the Ducati superstar, describing him as a true champion, both on and off the track. Younger brother Alex Marquez, who witnessed the accident from behind, also echoed the same tone of understanding, saying, "The incident was clear, but I don't want to criticize Bezzecchi. We have 44 races in a season. It's almost impossible not to make mistakes sometimes." Meanwhile, Aprilia Racing quickly issued an official apology. Team principal Massimo Rivola said, "First of all, we want to apologize to Marc. We feel very sorry for what happened. Marco immediately went to check on him. That shows respect. We hope Marc recovers quickly." Bezzecchi himself also underwent a medical check after the crash and was declared uninjured. He has yet to speak publicly, as he was excused from post-race media duties due to ongoing evaluations with the team. For Marquez, the timing of the injury couldn't be worse. Fresh off clinching his first world title with Ducati just 2 weeks ago in Japan, 6 years after his last crown, the Spaniard was riding high on momentum and confidence. Now, he faces a forced pause at Phillip Island in Australia and Sepang in Malaysia, missing 2 of his strongest circuits. Ducati confirmed Marquez will focus on full recovery before attempting a comeback at the season finale in Valencia, a race that could mark an emotional return for the champion and his fans. But beyond titles and points, Marquez's calm message stands as a reminder of what true sportsmanship looks like in the high-pressure world of MotoGP, a world where passion often runs hotter than the asphalt itself. The unanswered questions: will this incident affect the relationship between Marquez and Bezzecchi in the paddock? And more importantly, can Marquez return to full fitness in time to close the season with one last victory in Valencia? The MotoGP world has been rocked by a shocking turn of events. Just 1 week after celebrating his 7th Premier Class world title, Marc Marquez has been ruled out of action until at least November, following a devastating shoulder injury sustained in a first-lap collision at the Indonesian Grand Prix. The reigning champion's season took a dark twist on Sunday afternoon in Mandalika. Starting from the second row, Marquez was tipped as a favorite to extend his championship dominance. But disaster struck barely seconds into the race. As the pack barreled into Turn 7, Aprilia's Marco Bezzecchi, who had launched from pole after winning the sprint race, lost grip under braking and slammed into the rear of Marquez's Ducati GP25, sending both riders tumbling violently into the gravel. Marquez rolled several times before coming to rest, clutching his right shoulder in visible agony. Bezzecchi, shaken but conscious, immediately ran over to check on the Spaniard, a moment that would later be praised across the paddock as a sign of respect amid the chaos. Upon his return to Spain on Sunday evening, Marquez immediately underwent medical evaluation at Ruber International Hospital in Madrid, under the supervision of renowned specialists Dr. Samuel Antuña and Dr. Ignacio Roger de Oña, the same experts who oversaw his career-threatening arm injury back in 2020. The results were both alarming and, oddly enough, reassuring. Scans revealed a fracture at the base of the coracoid process, which is a key bone in the shoulder joint, and ligament damage to his right shoulder. However, there was no significant bone displacement, and crucially, no relapse of the old humerus injury that nearly ended his career 5 years ago. The good news is that surgery will not be required, Ducati's statement read. The recommended treatment is rest, immobilization, and progressive rehabilitation. Marquez himself echoed a cautious optimism, saying, "Fortunately, the injury isn't severe, but it's important to respect the recovery timeline. My goal is to be back before the end of the season, but not by rushing things beyond the doctor's recommendations." As a direct consequence of the injury, Ducati confirmed that Marquez will miss the Australian Grand Prix at Phillip Island and the Malaysian Grand Prix at Sepang, two circuits where he has historically excelled. His potential comeback is now projected for the Portuguese Grand Prix in mid-November, which is the penultimate round of the 2025 season. Ducati's sporting director Davide Tardozzi admitted the setback was painful but manageable. He said, "Marc's health comes first. We won't risk anything. He's a champion, he knows his limits, and he knows recovery is part of the battle." The team has yet to announce a replacement, though speculation points to Michel Pirot, Ducati's longtime test rider. However, Pirot's participation could be complicated by MotoGP's new concession rules, which have limited wildcard entries for factory test riders this season. With Marquez temporarily out, Ducati's championship strategy will shift to maintaining control of the constructors' standings. Meanwhile, Marquez will undergo an intensive recovery program, with Ducati's medical and performance staff monitoring his progress closely. The expectation, according to insiders, is that Marquez will aim to return to full fitness in time for Valencia, the season finale, a symbolic homecoming for the Spanish superstar. Until then, the MotoGP world will feel strangely quiet without number 93 on the grid, his absence a reminder that even the fiercest champions are still human. Will Marquez's injury open the door for Bagnaia or Bastianini to claim late-season glory? Can Bezzecchi rebuild his reputation after the backlash from Mandalika? And perhaps most importantly, will Marc Marquez once again rise from the ashes just as he's done so many times before?